Hey everybody, it's Devin with Vital Nutrition here in Florida. I do some of my best thinking when I'm driving, and I have celebrated a lot of wins the past week, finding some growing success in my private practice, and creating some amazing connections in the local area, online, all over the U.S., and connecting with other dietitians that have definitely pushed the envelope of what we're capable of doing in this space, and just seeing how rewarding it can be to run a business, but also utilizing our skills, our background, our ambitions. And in my world, some of my gained skills over the past few years being in a sales role has led to a great benefit. And I hope that this message rubs off on some other dietitians, health coaches, nutritionists, and so be it, about their ability to go against status quo, be less normal and more extra, I guess you can call it. Like I call my kids extra. They definitely go above and beyond what a basic kid would do, and maybe they're just like me. So in the past 10 years, I have gone from a bedside clinician focusing on med tele, neurology, a little bit of ICU background, and segueing into post-acute rehab, helping people meet their nutritional goals alongside rehab, gaining a deep appreciation for the rehab model, the therapists, the PTs, the OTs, my amazing speech therapists that I've met in the past few years, and just how rewarding it is to be on a team. Oh, and not to forget the nurses that work in every setting I've met along the way who dedicate themselves to a field that can either have a lot of love or a lot of hate towards it. The growth at the post-acute rehab, I've challenged myself at that time to be more of a speaker, a role model, a leader, without the title. I was always asked, why are you doing more when your job just says, here, do the bare minimum? I just felt like in my role I could do more. I had the autonomy to be more. I grew as a mentor to other dietitians who just joined the company. Even segued a little bit into the food service area with policy development and educating a lot of new employees in an entire region. That willingness and want to grow led to a director tagging me to be a new clinical nutrition manager, something that I had never done, managed employees. Another big challenge. I took all those skills that I had in growing and mentoring others to focus on a team who could learn through some of the things I learned through early on as a acute care dietitian, a clinical bedside dietitian. There was a high amount of burnout. I see so many dietitians nowadays that do this for such great causes and great reasons that burn themselves out, and leading a team of very driven, very motivated individuals. I was able to task them with the importance of knowing that we don't have to do everything, even though we want to. A lot of type A personalities having to do everything, get everything done, check all the boxes. And what I realized in that role was that the focus on quality over quantity became such more ever present. It also helped support the need for additional staff, additional funding, additional support from human resources about the growth of our staff, and preventing burnout, preventing turnover, focusing on the growth of the individual versus the underlying, hate to say it, revenue generation that we did not provide. And I think that I learned how to prove the point and tie things into finances and the role dietitians play in preventive care, diabetes management, assessing malnutrition. All those things correlated with a decreased length of stay and improved metrics for quality, which resulted in a lot of money to be gained by the hospital. And I truly felt like I was creating a value for the dietitians. And sometimes, a lot of these efforts, especially in management, and I hope some of the dietitians that are in this group that maybe are in management or pursuing management understand the amount of pressure that a CNM or anybody in that role can take on to try to help their team. obviously financially. We want everybody to succeed financially, but we also know that we don't have a whole lot of say in how that happens. Some do, depending on the size of the hospital, but a lot of that's left to upper management, your directors, your VPs, your AVPs, and it's a lot of proving that you have to do. But I learned about patience, I learned about projects, I learned about proving value, I learned about the team nature of what we do in dietetics, and not just the internal team, but the team as a whole, the entire organization. Everybody plays a role, everybody has value in what we do. The 2+ years I had in leadership started to help me grow as an entrepreneur. I was given the reins of a diabetes program that essentially was on its last leg, and it was an outpatient DSMES program. And I honestly knew nothing about DSMES. I didn't know how much work went into it, how much oversight, not to mention just making sure that your educators knew what they were doing and that they presented a good product, a good education program to the patients, but also to the providers that referred to us. We were one of the only really here in our area, and there was a lot of need to improve the quality of what we were doing. And I had an amazing team that I was able to oversee there, and I saw that there was a need to continue to grow outpatient nutrition, and there was a need outside of just the hospital setting to provide nutrition care, which led me to want to know more about sales, business development, marketing, how to create referrals, how to do all those things. I saw a benefit in going into home health, working directly in a specialty area with surgeons, with doctors, connecting with the providers that knew that their patients deserve it a little bit more after they left the hospital. I had meetings one-on-one with surgeons and challenged them to do more after a patient discharges from the hospital, be more present, assess the need for obviously nutrition, but nursing, therapy, the focus on going home. I'm sure we've all seen, working in the clinical bedside setting, a lot of our patients don't go home. I'd say over half I've ever seen in my life always go to a nursing home. And people call them rehabs, but in my reality, those nursing homes, those rehabs, they can do just as much as what happens at a home. And that's what I came to realize working in the home health area. Growing in that sales role also created that itch to go back into private practice more than I already was. And has led me to the point where I am focused on creating a company focused on every nook and cranny that I have learned about in the past 10 years. From providing post-acute transitional nutrition care, providing diabetes outpatient and also in-home care, focusing on preventive natures of surgical programs that would benefit from having a dietitian involved during and after surgery. The emphasis on the support that goes with bariatric nutrition, and just knowing that we can be ever present after someone leaves the hospital. Most of the dietitians I've worked with see somebody in the walls of the hospital. Do they see them when they go home? 99% of the time they're not seeing those people when they go home, and they're not getting any follow-up. It's time for us to look at how we can help people anywhere. And also with private practice, the emphasis on focusing on preventive care, weight loss, dabbling in sports nutrition, something that I'm not familiar with, but I'm looking to grow a team that would hit all these niches. So I'm dreaming big. I know there's more than just being a bedside clinician, and more that we can do to help people make changes, make good changes, stable changes, and provide the support and the expertise that we have as dietitians. There's a lot that I've learned, and I hope to continue to share that with everybody in the weeks and months and years to come. And I hope you subscribe to what I am selling. This might motivate somebody, it might deter somebody, but I've been through a lot and learned a lot in 10 years. And I'm super appreciative of the support I have gotten from every person that I have told that I'm pursuing this long-term goal. So stay tuned. I hope you appreciate what I have to provide.